This hand horner is one basing on Cradle of Death, and they have a total of 2 battle cruisers and 1 assault galleon with a bunch of hellbats that are available for them at their disposal. But they have noticed that there is an attack wave that's coming up towards this side, so there are a few mag mines that are being dropped on here. So basically the best position for the mag mines is right at the top of the ramp, but unfortunately hand horner does not subscribe to that strategy. So these mag mine positioning, it's not really that bad. It does end up wiping out a large chunk of this attack wave, but there are 2 immortals and 1 stalker that are remaining on this side, and 1 archon over there. The mag mines at the back do aggro and do end up taking out the archon, and now we have a call in the fleet that gets dropped for just the last remaining immortal. And now this call in the fleet is just gonna move through here. They're just gonna be flying, just checking to make sure everything is okay before they despawn. The bonus has just spawned on Mal Warfare, and Setman is in position with an army of 3 Hydralisks, which happen to be getting shredded by a bunch of lurkers. Now, notice that there are no stat zones over here, and Gary has not been upgraded to Super Gary, which is, we're already at the 10-minute 30-second mark. Yet the bonus objective decides to get triggered by Mr. Gary over here, and now he has to try and deal with an army of Zerglings with just Gary himself. No Psionic Orbs do get dropped, or whatever his ability is called, and because there are no stat zones, he doesn't get the extra added bonus, so these Zerglings just get a full wraparound around this bonus objective terminal here, and that thing just gets completely destroyed. Now these Zerglings have nothing to aggro, so they just start making a beeline towards the rest of Stefan's reinforcements here, and they pick off those Hydralisks on this side. A few more Hydralisks try and join in to try and stop the attack wave that is coming up, but that is not enough. And now Stefan's base is going to get harassed by the amount of Zerglings that have been spawned as a result of this. Now he decides to send Gary straight towards his base here without using a recall. So that is also a little bit unfortunate. They finally ends up using that orb to end up completely wiping out the attack wave. If only that was a little bit earlier, he would have actually been able to get the bonus objective as well.
Our allies are being...
Many commanders have different kinds of build orders depending on what they're trying to achieve in the game. So this Artaz has gone with, he's building a forge right now, but he has put down a total of 10 gateways so far, and he's put down a Cybernetics core and a forge in the early stage of the game. Still no expand, but he does have a solution for his expand as well. As you can see, this probe is making its way here, and now he's going to proceed with expanding because he doesn't want to build up his economy. He's going to do so with a solar bombardment. And a few orbital strikes here, just to clean up that side. Pull up the map just a little bit. And unfortunately, I don't think those rocks are going to end up getting cleared out. Nope, unfortunately they don't even get cleared out. So he's going to have to deal with that, so he ends up using the probe to take off the last 75 HP of those rocks because his solar bombardment was not placed as optimally as it could have. Garax is over here, and he has chosen to try and deal with the Slain Elemental. So he sends an army of Sentinels over here to try and take this out, but this is a flying unit, which is somewhat problematic because these guys cannot attack. So Garax has come up with a solution for this. He's going to use his Spear Fadoon abilities to take out the Slain Elemental. So he started at 192 energy. You can see now, his energy drain is serious. His Sentinels do get caught by the Slain Elemental's Fadoon ability, but a total of 180 energy later, he's able to clear that Slain Elemental. Not too much later, Garax now has a small piece of his army, and he's ready to go. Unfortunately, he does not have enough energy on that Spear Fadoon to take out the Slain Elemental. And the Slain Elemental is now really mad and is going to exact its revenge on the few Mirages that he has. He decides to send a bunch of his Sentinels to have a look at these Mirages as they're getting caught in the cocoon, but they end up getting caught in as well, and that is pretty much the rest of his army completely wiped because there's nothing he can do to save the onslaught of damage that is coming up his way. And done. But wait, there's more! There is an army now for Garax, and this army consists of 13 Mirages, 14 Mirages at the moment. Garax wants to exact his revenge on the Slain Elemental, and he chooses to kite. which is a good idea for the first elemental cocoon attack. One of the Mirages does get caught up, but it's not too much of a problem. But now he decides to just ignore that because he thought, I believe, he thought he had enough DPS to take out the Slain Elemental, and now these Mirages are all caught in the Slain Elemental's cocoon. He's going to go down, and we also have a bunch of Sentinels that are poking over here, and the Slain Elemental is mad. It wants to try and hit these Sentinels as well. It does get vision now, and it will cast its Elemental Cocoon, but some of these Sentinels actually move out of the way randomly because they are on a move. A few more shots from the Spear of Dune. So far, a total of 17 Mirages have gone down with 24 Sentinels. Now, Karax is basically free to do whatever he wishes to do while his ally goes and clears the rest of the mission. And we'll see what his plan is over here. He is looking, he is interested, he's looking at his base at the moment. And he's looking at his expansion right now. And now he looks at the rest of the Sentinels who have heroically survived the onslaught of the Slain Elemental. And with the speed field upgrade, he chooses to charge right into Amon's base, right into the siege tank to try and attack that one bunker in the front line over there. And that is pretty much the rest of his army completely obliterated. He is now dropped down to 3 Mirages and 6 Sentinels.
Your force
Under attack.
Day number 3 has arrived for Zagara on Dead of Night, and I just want to draw your attention to these drop overlords that Zagara has chosen to make. So it appears that Zagara has pretty much bought every single upgrade that is available to her, even though she's not really using a lot of it. And now we have a double nuke here from Amon, because as we all know, if you're playing up against Terran composition, Amon just absolutely likes to nuke your face. So 2 nukes are coming down over here. Zerglings move out of the way. Unfortunately, these spine crawlers have not been moved, and 2 of the nukes have been dropped so far. And now Zagara's detection is in position with a bunch of corruptors as well. And Zagara has cleaned up the 2 ghosts that were harassing her at that point. Now Zagara decides to go off on her way and start helping her ally clear the site, and as you can see we have a large number of overseers being made, but now there is another nuke on this side because there was no static defense that was put there, and Zagara is now getting nuked, and she does send the rest of her overseers in here just to make sure that there's adequate amounts of detection to strongly detect that ghost, but she does end up maneuvering her army, and her entire army does end up getting nuked by that one ghost. That ghost has gotten so much value, and that Scourge Nest has almost completely been killed off by the onslaught of nukes on her base.